Right. Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'm going to come to the other podium. Mr. Speaker, serving in the U.S. House of Representatives has been an honor of a lifetime. Very surreal. You know, as someone said before, I think my colleague Greg Stanton from Arizona, over 31 years ago, I left an abusive ex-husband, and I had a little daughter, and there was times I had no money. I remember there was a time I had no place to live. I went to see if I could get into a shelter, and it was full. And to go from that, you know, just trying to survive, to serving here, shows you that God is good and America is good. And from going from that to flying on Air Force One, to sitting in my apartment in Washington, D.C., and getting a call from the President of the United States, President Trump, from staying overnight and being invited to Camp David, which not too many people get to do, and to be selected by President Trump of one of only 8 U.S. Congress members to serve on his impeachment defense team. Wow. Just absolutely unbelievable. And you know, in the 6 years and almost 8 months that I've been here, I have been part of history. So much history that has never happened before I experienced. I served on the Judiciary Committee during both impeachments, but it went through committee on the first impeachment of President Trump. And I saw firsthand how I thought it was so corrupt and politically motivated, and it disgusted me. I was so upset. I really studied hard. I studied all of the so-called evidence. And it was just, it was a dark time in the United States. I was there when Robert Mueller came to Judiciary Committee to testify, and we all prepared, and it was kind of really a surprise of how he testified and wasn't able to answer certain questions. I was here and lived through Congress through COVID, when Speaker Pelosi mandated that we wear masks in all of the committees and on the floor, when Speaker Pelosi put metal detectors right outside of those doors, and every single member of Congress had to go through metal detectors as if we were some type of threat. I was here when Speaker Pelosi instituted proxy voting on the floor. Never been done before in the history of the United States, not through different diseases, not through wars, but we did it here, and I joined in the lawsuit against it, thinking it was unconstitutional. And I was here on January 6th. That was just a crazy day. So I have had one heck of a ride. One heck of a ride here. And have met so many great people. And truly, I believe that the vast majority of Congress members are good people who want to make a difference in our lives. I have been able to help hundreds of constituents. And that is such a great feeling because they've come up to me. Some of these constituents have come up to me crying, saying, Debbie, you were able to help me. I was at my wit's end. I couldn't get my Social Security payment. I couldn't get my veteran benefit payment. And your office helped me. And that's really satisfying to me. I was able to pass legislation. Not only was I a co-sponsor of the big border bill, securing the border, and other great bills, but my own bills, Save Our Gas Stoves and Hands Off Our Home Appliances, was passed out of this House. I was able to serve on the prestigious Energy and Commerce Committee, the Select Subcommittee on COVID, the Judiciary Committee, the Rules Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, and the Science and Space Committee. What an honor. I was also served on the WHIP team and on the steering committee where we would select which Republicans served on which committees and which Republicans served as chairman or ranking members on the committees. I've made a lot of great friends. Some of them are here today. And I'll never forget you. But now it's time for me to move on. I have a great family at home. My mother's 95. My husband, my loving husband's home. I have 3 kids. I have 6 grandkids. And a brother, a sister that all live within 20 minutes of my house. And I'm here in Washington, D.C. 60, 70% of the time. There's something wrong with that picture. So as I leave, it's kind of bittersweet. But I'm happy. I'm happy I'm going home, and I'm happy I've had this experience of my lifetime. I'll never regret it. So I want to thank my constituents who have always put their trust in me, the voters in my district, President Trump, who has supported me, my staff that has worked in my congressional office, either now or in the past, and the staff here at the Capitol. You've been great people, and I won't forget it. So thank you, and God bless all of you as God has blessed me. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.